Welcome back to Infamous Killers in History. In this episode, we explore the chilling tale of Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess. Join us as we uncover the dark legend of one of history's most notorious female serial killers.
The Carpathian Mountains, a realm of mist and legend. Ancient forests cloak the slopes, whispering tales of long-forgotten gods and lurking shadows. Above the tree line, Čachtice Castle stands sentinel, a solitary stone giant against the bruised sky. Its silhouette, stark and imposing, hints at the darkness held within, a darkness echoing with screams and the rustle of silk gowns. Čachtice Castle, once a symbol of power and nobility, now whispers a different story. It is a place where beauty turned monstrous, where whispers became screams, and where blood stained the stone. The castle's crumbling facade conceals a chilling past, one that continues to captivate and horrify even centuries later. The air grows heavy as you approach, thick with the weight of unspeakable acts. The wind moans through the crumbling archways, carrying the echo of tormented souls. Each stone seems to whisper, recounting the terrors that unfolded within those walls. This is the legacy of Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess. Her name, synonymous with cruelty and insatiable bloodlust, hangs heavy in the air. Her story, a chilling blend of fact and fiction, is a descent into madness and a stark reminder of the darkness that can reside in the human heart. Elizabeth Báthory, born into Hungarian nobility in 1560, seemed destined for a life of privilege and power. Her lineage was impressive, boasting ties to Hungarian royalty and a reputation for fierce independence and military prowess. From a young age, Elizabeth was exposed to the intricacies of courtly life, learning the delicate dance of power and influence. However, beneath the veneer of refinement, darkness festered. Whispers of a fiery temper and a penchant for cruelty began to circulate. Some attributed these traits to her family's turbulent history, others to a darkness that dwelled within her from birth. Whatever the cause, the seeds of evil had been sown. Elizabeth's marriage to Ferenc Nadasdy, a man of war and ambition, seemed to solidify her position in society. Nadasdy, often away on campaigns, left Elizabeth to manage their vast estates, granting her unprecedented power and autonomy. It was during these years, alone in the isolated grandeur of Čachtice Castle, that Elizabeth's true nature began to reveal itself. The whispers of cruelty escalated into screams. Tales of brutal punishments inflicted upon servants began to spread. Rumors of strange rituals and an unhealthy obsession with blood seeped from the castle walls, staining Elizabeth's reputation with an indelible mark of horror. The transformation from noblewoman to monster had begun. The castle walls became a canvas for unspeakable atrocities. What began with petty cruelties escalated into a horrifying obsession with blood. Young peasant girls, lured to the castle with promises of work and a better life, soon found themselves trapped in a nightmare. Elizabeth, driven by a twisted belief that bathing in the blood of virgins would preserve her youth and beauty, orchestrated a reign of terror. The castle, once a symbol of her family's power, was transformed into a macabre abattoir. Screams echoed through the stone corridors, masked by the castle's thick walls and the complicity of Elizabeth's loyal servants. Instruments of torture designed to inflict maximum pain became commonplace within the castle walls. The dungeons, once reserved for prisoners of war, were filled with the broken bodies of young girls. The scent of blood hung heavy in the air, a constant reminder of the horrors unfolding within. The stories of Elizabeth's cruelty are as numerous as they are disturbing. Some accounts detail her bathing in the blood of her victims. Others describe her biting the flesh of young girls, driven by a thirst that could never be quenched. The truth, shrouded in rumor and exaggeration, paints a portrait of unimaginable depravity. Word of the horrors unfolding within Čachtice Castle began to spread beyond the castle walls. Whispers, fueled by fear and disgust, travelled through the surrounding villages, painting Elizabeth Báthory as a monster who feasted on the innocent. parents forbade their daughters from venturing near the castle, fearing they would be lured into Elizabeth's clutches. Travellers passing by the imposing structure would quicken their pace, avoiding eye contact with the castle walls, as if afraid they might betray the horrors within. Despite the growing fear and suspicion, Elizabeth's noble status shielded her from scrutiny. Her family's influence, combined with the fear she instilled in the local populace, created a wall of silence around Čachtice. The whispers, though persistent, remained just that, whispers, unable to penetrate the veil of power and fear that protected Elizabeth. However, the truth, no matter how deeply buried, has a way of surfacing. The whispers, carried on the wind, eventually reached the ears of those who dared to challenge Elizabeth's reign of terror. The seeds of her downfall had been sown, and the walls of silence were about to crumble. As the years passed, Elizabeth's thirst for blood only intensified. The castle, once a place of grandeur and nobility, became synonymous with fear and suffering. The surrounding lands, once teeming with life, grew desolate, as if the very earth recoiled from the horrors unfolding within Čachtice. The whispers of Elizabeth's atrocities reached the ears of clergymen who, horrified by the tales of bloodshed, began to voice their concerns. Still, Elizabeth's noble status and the influence of her family provided a shield, protecting her from any real investigation. However, the tide was turning. The sheer scale of Elizabeth's crimes, combined with the growing unease among the local populace, began to erode the foundation of her protection. No longer could her noble lineage shield her from the consequences of her actions. The whispers transformed into accusations, fueled by the courage of those who had witnessed the horrors firsthand. The rumors of missing girls, the stories of torture, and the undeniable scent of blood that clung to Čachtice Castle could no longer be ignored. Elizabeth's reign of terror was nearing its end. In 1610, the whispers finally reached the ears of György Thurzó, a powerful Hungarian nobleman tasked with investigating the accusations against Elizabeth Báthory. Armed with the weight of the Hungarian crown and driven by a desire to uncover the truth, Thurzó descended upon Čachtice Castle. What Thurzó discovered within the castle walls shocked even the most hardened soldiers in his company. The dungeons, reeking of blood and decay, revealed the extent of Elizabeth's cruelty. Instruments of torture, stained with the blood of countless victims, lay scattered throughout the castle. The testimonies of surviving victims, their bodies bearing the scars of unimaginable pain, painted a horrifying picture of Elizabeth's reign of terror. Their stories, filled with accounts of torture, ritualistic bloodshed, and Elizabeth's insatiable thirst for the blood of virgins, confirmed the darkest rumors. The evidence was overwhelming. Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess, was unmasked. Her reign of terror, shielded for so long by her noble lineage and the fear she instilled, had finally come to an end. Despite the irrefutable evidence, Elizabeth Báthory never faced a formal trial. Her noble lineage, the very shield that had protected her for so long, ultimately saved her from public humiliation and execution. Instead, she was condemned to a fate arguably worse than death. Elizabeth was imprisoned within her own castle, her world reduced to a single windowless room. The walls that had once witnessed her unspeakable acts now served as her prison, the silence broken only by the echoes of her past. Food and water were passed through a small opening, ensuring her survival while denying her any human contact. The world beyond her cell, the world she had once ruled with an iron fist, became a distant memory, replaced by the suffocating solitude of her confinement. For 4 years, Elizabeth Báthory remained entombed within the walls of Čachtice Castle, her only companion the darkness and the ghosts of her victims. The silence, a stark contrast to the screams that had once filled the castle, became her constant companion, a chilling reminder of her descent into madness and the consequences of her actions. Elizabeth Báthory died in her prison in 1614. Her death, shrouded in as much mystery as her life, did little to quell the stories that surrounded her. Instead, her legend grew. fueled by the whispers of those who had witnessed her cruelty and the imaginations of those who heard the tales. The Blood Countess became a figure of folklore, her story a cautionary tale whispered around firesides and passed down through generations. The line between fact and fiction blurred, each retelling of Elizabeth's story adding new layers of horror and intrigue. Some accounts painted her as a victim of circumstance, a woman driven to madness by the pressures of her position and the cruelty of her family. Others depicted her as a willing participant in her own depravity, a woman who reveled in the suffering of others and sought eternal youth through the most gruesome of means. Regardless of the interpretation, Elizabeth Báthory's story continues to captivate and horrify, a testament to the enduring power of fear and the human fascination with the darkest corners of the human soul. Centuries after her death, Elizabeth Báthory's legacy endures. Čachtice Castle, once a symbol of her family's power and the stage for her unspeakable acts, stands as a chilling monument to her reign of terror. The castle, now a popular destination for those intrigued by the macabre, serves as a grim reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human heart. Visitors wander through the castle's crumbling corridors, imagining the screams that once echoed through the stone walls. The dungeons where Elizabeth imprisoned and tortured her victims are a somber testament to her cruelty. The very air seems heavy with the weight of suffering, a tangible reminder of the horrors that unfolded within those walls. Čachtice Castle is a place where history and legend intertwine, creating an atmosphere of both fascination and unease. The line between reality and myth blurs, leaving visitors to grapple with the unsettling truth of Elizabeth Báthory's story. The story of Elizabeth Báthory is more than just a gruesome tale of horror. It is a cautionary reminder of the potential for darkness within the human heart, the corrupting influence of power, and the consequences of unchecked cruelty. Elizabeth's descent into madness, fueled by her obsession with beauty and her belief in the power of blood, serves as a warning against the dangers of unchecked ambition and the seductive nature of evil. Her story highlights the importance of accountability, the need to challenge those in power, and the responsibility to protect the vulnerable. The enduring fascination with Elizabeth Báthory's story speaks to a deep-seated human need to confront the darkness, to understand the motivations behind such unspeakable acts, and to learn from the mistakes of the past. Her legacy, though steeped in horror, provides a valuable lesson about the fragility of humanity and the importance of vigilance in the face of evil.
Thank you for watching Infamous Killers in History. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Join us next time as we delve into the dark and twisted story of another infamous killer from history. Till then, stay curious and stay safe.